Now, Democratic Congressman Jim Himes, representative for Connecticut's 4th District. He is a member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, the Intel Committee. Congressman, good to see you again. What do you do with this? How does a guy like you feel about this? Because you knew this. You knew that there was information. You knew that John Bolton had this information because the House had heard from people who were around Bolton, who operated with him, for him, under him. So you knew he had the goods. And the Republicans wouldn't call him, and now you see he had the goods. What do you make of it?
Yeah, well, it's a little mind-boggling, right? So on the one hand, the president was impeached for basically holding up foreign aid to Ukraine until they agreed to run an investigation of his political opponent, and for obstruction of justice. And here, this is a book that is full of, the president apparently begging President Xi of China to help him get reelected, precisely what we worried about with respect to Russia in the last election, and, offering to, apparently, I haven't read the book yet, but the excerpt suggests that he apparently offered to, either slow down prosecutions on behalf of dictators that he liked. So on the one hand, this would have been deeply, deeply material stuff to the impeachment, right? And the fact that John Bolton, when his own people came before Congress and testified, the fact that he decided to keep that stuff from the Republic in order to do a $2 million book deal, well, that speaks to his patriotism, right? Now, Ali, the interesting thing here is, let's imagine that he had testified under oath and sworn to all of these allegations. Would you have gotten another Republican senator? I don't know. Would you have gotten 2? Would you have gotten 3? You certainly wouldn't have gotten a conviction. These senators, and I'm watching my colleagues right now in Tulsa, shaking hands, no masks. They will give their lives for this president. So I'm not sure that the outcome would have been a little different. It would have been different. But, yeah, as somebody who was closely involved, it would have been good to have those facts when it mattered to the country.
I'm going to just show some pictures. This is the not full Bank of Oklahoma Stadium, just to be clear. It holds 19,000 people. On the right side, you've got Black Lives Matter protesters on the outside of the stadium. The Trump campaign has said that the reason the outside event was not held, was canceled, was because protesters and journalists were intimidating supporters. But in fact, neither the inside of the auditorium is full, and there do not appear to be any Trump supporters on the outside of the auditorium. Congressman, what do you do about John Bolton now? Is there anything to be done about it? Is there anything to be brought back on the table? Because your conclusion seems to have been, what would it have done? Would it have changed votes in the Senate, which is the only place that it would have mattered to convict Donald Trump of the impeachment charges? Is there anything to be done about John Bolton? He is being called before the House to testify. I don't know if that's going to happen. What do you think? What do you think happens next?
Well, uncomfortably, since he wasn't in the end subpoenaed because he said that he would contest the subpoena in court, unlike a bunch of others, we can't go after him for showing contempt of Congress. Now, John Bolton, if he's one thing, he's a very ambitious guy. He cares about being on the inside in Washington and being a player in foreign policy. That's gone. That's gone, right? He is now, he is now basically, scored a real hat trick by managing to irritate, both extremes of the political spectrum at him. And of course, he has demonstrated how much he cares about his country by refusing to testify with absolutely material information. So, I hope the $2 million he got for his book is nice because he is, I think, his credibility is shot. His role in the future of a participant or a contributor towards our foreign policy or national security is gone. That said, there are plenty of people out there who were subpoenaed, who defied subpoenas, and if the Congress is going to mean anything, if our authority is to be, a co-equal branch, as we are designed to be, we're going to need to demand accountability from those people who did defy our subpoenas.
Congressman, good to talk to you as always. Thank you for joining me. Congressman Jim Himes of Connecticut is a Democrat, and he is a member of the Intel Committee.